Well, our flag finally gave up. That poor flag just got ripped up, and we're having to dispose of it. We usually take them to the veterans organizations, and they know how to dispose of them properly. We've tried several iterations of things to solve the flag problem. Anybody with a boat knows it's a problem. The flag gets wrapped around the pole, so we bought little rings that rotate so that the flag doesn't wrap around the pole. But the ones that we had before had bolts on them to fasten them to the flagpole. And as the flag would whip around in the wind, it would snag those little bolts and start ripping, and over time it would do damage to the flag and just shred it. So we've got a new ring that we're going to try out. It's called Bonitech rotating flag mounting rings, and these don't use bolts to hold them to the flagpole. They have a set screw instead, so it's recessed, and we're hoping that's going to solve the problem. So I'm going to go ahead and mount them today, and we'll let it fly for a little bit, and then I'll come back a later day and finish this video up and let you know how they worked. So here's what they look like. They come with everything included in the box that you need to mount them, including the rings, the set screws, and even the wrench, so you don't have to go climbing down the lazarette and find one. I appreciate that. It even comes with this little instruction booklet to tell you how to install it. These rings appear to be very well made. They're made out of stainless steel, so it'll help resist rust. As I said, it's got a set screw instead of a bolt. So the first thing you want to do is place the top ring onto the flagpole. Make sure that the rotating ring part is towards the bottom. Then using the supplied wrench, just tighten it down as tight as you can get it. Next, put the lower assembly on. In this case, you want the rotating ring to be towards the top side. Don't tighten this one down completely yet. You need to put your flag on first to get proper spacing. One of the things you want to do is make sure that your set screws are on the same side of the pole. Use the supplied clips to attach your flag to the rotating rings. If you make it too tight, the flag won't rotate around the pole properly. So it actually needs to be somewhat loose, top to bottom on the pole. Once you've finished that, go ahead and install the flagpole into your mount. Make sure it's secure so that the wind doesn't blow your pole away, and we're ready to test it out. Today's actually a good day for us to test it. As you can see, it's quite windy outside. You've probably been hearing it in the microphone, but it's a good day to test the flag. We'll let it run for a few days and see how it acts. See if these set screws are a better option than the little bolts, and I'll come back and report to you. Well, we've run them for about 2 weeks since we put the new flag mounts up, and overall I'm very pleased with them. They work pretty good. There's a couple things that I had to fix or didn't particularly care for. One was that the set screws that come with it, although they do provide these two different sizes, both of them were too long, so they need to put a shorter set screw. I've got a 1-inch pole, which I think is pretty common, and it pretty much fills up their little rotating mechanism, so you don't need much of a set screw in there. And remember, our whole goal was to prevent something snagging the flag, so I don't want a set screw that's sticking out. The result for me is I'm going to have to find a Home Depot or something and buy a smaller set screw, but it'd be nice if they provided that in their kit. Another thing was when I first installed the flag, you remember I said make sure that you don't make it too tight top to bottom. I made it too loose. So I discovered that when it was too loose, it rattled a lot, made a lot of racket. And so it was a simple fix. I just loosened up the lower set screw and tightened up the flag just a little bit. Again, you still don't want it tight or it won't rotate properly. So I just lowered it a little bit, and that made the noise go away, so that was a good thing. But other than that, not once did the flag snag or get tangled up in any way, shape, or form. It was always flapping in the direction of the wind, if there was a wind. And so yeah, it's good. I recommend it. I think it'd work great on your boat.